if you know, we ran into each other at the Democratic Convention because Morgan is, here's the thing about her. Okay, because so of course you're first known as like the most beautiful woman in the entire universe and several other universes, but you are crazy smart and funny. You are political. You're an activist. Somebody just did a story you were saying on your Twitter feed, and people were going, I didn't think I'd be learning about foreign policy from Morgan Fairchild. But people, I don't think people knew you're a nerd. You're a policy nerd.
I've always been a nerd. Yes.
But what? Hi. Okay, always? Have you always been involved in politics?
Not so much politics, but I've always been a nerd. I wanted to be a doctor or paleontologist when I was a kid, so I've just always kept my hand in and all of that. And so a lot of my
you
Twitter
seem like
feed,
someone you would play those things, and people go, "Oh no, fucking way! There's no goddamn paleontologist that looks like that."
Yeah, I wish they'd cast me that way. They never do. But like today, I was tweeting about a new giant dinosaur track that they found in Mongolia. So that's where I thought I'd spend my life, dusting off dinosaur bones in Mongolia.
Amazing. There's a joke about a lot of bones in there, but I'm not gonna talk about how many bones Morgan Fairchild has caused. That is so true. Normally, we have, comedians that are really filthy on this, and we encourage drinking and swearing. You don't drink. But you know what? If you could drop an F-bomb or something, that'd be fantastic. As classy as you are.
I try not to do that.
All right, I'll make up for it. So I don't even know where to start. I was thinking, obviously, we know, the main things that come up, you think Falcon Crest and all these shows. And then you look at you've been on fucking everything. You've been on every show. And also just how funny you are. And maybe that was sort of, people thought, against type. She's the beautiful. She plays the rich bitch and everything. But you were nominated for an Emmy, right?
Yeah, for Murphy Brown.
Yeah, for Murphy Brown.
Yeah. Well, I always, I grew up in the theater. I started in the theater when I was 10, so you always did everything.
Right.
And so, that was a big help in learning how to get laughs when you look like I do. So it was a big advantage when I first moved out here because they didn't have anybody who could do comedy who looked like I did, who could do the rich bitch and make it funny.
Right.
And so, so I ended up
Not
doing...
a sympathetic character.
So I ended up doing Happy Days and a lot of shows, Bob Newhart and then Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
And playing Mindy's, rival for Mork's
Oh, you're always
affection.
the rival.
Yes, yes.
You're always the...
I never get the guy.
Oh, look who's here.
Never get the guy. So that was always fun. But it was always fun to be part of something that was cutting edge, that was new.
Right.
With Mork and Mindy, I had done Happy Days, like my third or fourth job out here, and they were so lovely. What a lovely casting.
Right.
Gary Marshall was so wonderful.
Yeah.
And Howard Storm and all the great people. And so every time I would go over to visit, every time I was on the Paramount lot, if I had anything to do, I'd stop by and visit. So one day I'm over there, and Henry says, do you got to be anywhere? And I said, no, why? And he says, stay and watch this kid. He's our guest star this week. Watch this kid work.
Wow.
So I stayed, and I thought I'd be there half an hour. Well, I stayed the rest of the afternoon just to stay and tell this guy that he was a genius.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
So 5 or 6 months later, I get this call from the agent, oh, good news and bad news. What's the good news? Well, the good news is you got the TV movie you wanted. Bad news is Gary Marshall has this new show, and nobody knows anything about it, and it's all under wraps, and he wants you to come on, but they don't want to give you a contract, and they only want to pay you top of show, and you're making so much more than that now, and we think you should pass on it. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's called Mork and Mindy. And I said, that's Robin Williams' show. And he said, who's Robin Williams? I said, Robin Williams is a genius. Don't tell Gary Marshall I'd work for free to work with Robin Williams. So I took the show, and we just, so the first day I got out there, we had the table read, and it was very funny, and we got up to start blocking, and I quickly realized, because the show wasn't on the air yet, I hadn't seen anything. I quickly realized that you'd start with the script, and then Robin would just go.
Right.